Hi, I'm Jim Luff, Marketing Manager for Chosen Payments. Welcome to another episode of The Chosen Scoop. Today, I'm joined by my coworker, Katie Martinez, as we start taking you behind the scenes at Chosen, and we want to introduce you to some of our team members. Katie is one of my favorites, so I invited her to join me on the Chosen Scoop and share with you a little bit about her role at Chosen. And Katie, why don't we start with how long have you been with Chosen Payments?
You want to age me right off the bat, huh? It's not
Yeah,
very nice of you.
I know. Is there gray hair? No, no gray hair.
You can see them sticking up. I
Sorry,
gotta
sorry,
just pull
sorry.
one out. Jesus. So don't lean forward, right? Keep my head back. Actually, it'll be 9 years next month.
Wow. And so how did you become associated with Chosen Payments?
Ooh, that's funny. I actually used to work for Wells Fargo before Chosen Payments, and some of you may know who Amy Robinson is. Her husband worked with me at Wells Fargo, and when the relationship with Wells Fargo stopped, Jack kind of and Amy got me into meet with Jeff and Chosen Payments, and that's how it all started.
Awesome. And so now I think, am I right that you work from home now,
I do.
pretty much?
Yep.
All right. What do you like best about your job at Chosen Payments?
Um, I mean, sales is never really a lot of fun to people, right? That's obviously what my job is. It can be fun, it can be rewarding, but the cool thing is the relationships that I've built with a lot of my clients, and um, it's kind of quite amazing too. Actually, just coming through COVID and the pandemic, like how many of them just called to talk to me, like they didn't have anything to, no questions about work, they didn't need help with anything, they just called to check in, see how I was doing, see how Bruce was doing, and that to me was kind of a surprise and very warming, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Um, I think that that's something else that I enjoy about working at Chosen Payments is the amount of people that we get to meet, and especially you and I, who travel for the company and get to meet people from the jewelry industry, the funeral industry, the limo industry, and and really, to be able to take a peek into the lives of other industries is something that I truly enjoy. But I think most importantly, I enjoy when we're able to find a solution to a client's issues and improve on what they do. um, anyway, which I was going to ask you which industry you like the best, but I probably better not do that because you could have friends in one industry that might be offended. But we do know that you have a lot of limo customers. Am I right?
I do. I sure do.
So, is there anything particular you like about serving that industry?
The limo industry, I mean, the operators, I mean, they're characters. It's a lot of fun. Like when we go to the shows and hang, not to say all the other shows aren't fun. It's just they really bring you in as like family, and I don't know. They're great characters. Some of times it's can be a little difficult, but for the most part, it's I always walk away laughing for some reason. So they're entertaining.
So yeah, my I guess if I was going to say I have an affinity, it would be the funeral industry, um, and I think that you and I have both experienced going to a funeral directors convention and probably having expectations that were different than what they really turned out to be. And I mean, you think of people in the funeral industry as being quiet, somber, reserved people, but when the convention show floor shuts down, they can party just as hard as the limo industry, and you can see that they're people that just I really admire them because of the compassion involved in their job, and how they're literally like helping a family through their worst time. Maybe they lost the mom of the family or the dad of the family, but yet the jokes within the funeral industry, they're there. And I think that even though you're dealing with a sad situation, they never lose their sense of humor, and I admire that about them. But again,
It's
this is
funny
just an
you
example.
actually brought that up though, because I was just at a doctor's appointment on Tuesday, and me and the doctor were just kind of talking, just random conversation, and he was just asking, what actual industries I traveled for. And when I mentioned the funeral industry, I told him, like, you'd be really surprised. Like, they're not down, they're still upbeat, they're definitely super warm, they're also very, very welcoming. But man, as soon as the floor closes, they're ready to have some fun. So yeah, I told him you'd be surprised, but definitely a cool industry to be in, and you'd learn a lot of stuff too that I would have never thought of to even think of. So
Right. I still remember my very first funeral show and a vendor trying to show me some wax substance to fill in gashes on a face if somebody had been in an accident or something, and he wanted me to touch it. And he used one of those Halloween rubber masks, and he filled in a gash on the mask, and he said, touch it. It doesn't even feel waxy. And I said, I don't want to. And he said, why won't you touch it? And I had to tell him, I'm not an embalmer. I don't really work in the funeral industry. We do credit card processing for funeral homes. And he jumped back and said, I bet I just really freaked you out. And I said, yeah. But as you walk through and you see all this embalming equipment and urns for ashes and body removal bags, and I mean, they're all things that you and I probably never think about because that's not our business, but somebody has to do it. And I mean, you would be surprised at the number of display booths that are at a funeral convention. Um, the one the National Funeral Directors Association, I do believe that that's probably the biggest show we go to in terms of footprint. And I mean, you could just be walking for days and days and days. And and I remember being at a funeral director's show and seeing Southwest Airlines having a booth there. And I'm thinking, why would Southwest Airlines be at a funeral convention? Well, if you die in Michigan and you want to get buried in California, you got to get the body there somehow. And so Southwest Airlines has a cargo division that handles moving human remains. And it's just a fascinating business. I think everything that we do at Chosen Payments is fascinating, to tell you the truth.
yeah, everyone has something very unique that you just learn, and it kind of takes you by surprise. And yeah, it's always
You
learning
really
something
do.
new every day. It's either going to be learning something new within the credit card processing industry, or you're learning something new about a whole other industry. So it's definitely it's cool.
Well, we've certainly enjoyed sharing with you a little bit behind the scenes at Chosen Payments and what we do. And Katie, I'd like to thank you for joining me on this episode of the Chosen Scoop. Any last words before we sign off here?
Just hi everyone, and can't wait to start traveling again to see everybody again. Definitely will be fun to get some hugs in again.
We are definitely both in the same boat there, and ready to come and see you soon. Thanks again for joining us on another episode of the Chosen Scoop, and we'll see you next time.